It's been a really difficult 72 hours. I've been fighting almost incessantly now, going back and forth with Max Verstappen naysayers. They said that I glazed too much, that this dude is a fast car merchant, that he's an Adrian Newey benefactor. They said put Max Verstappen underneath some adversity and he will cave. I've said that Max Verstappen is the GOAT, potentially one of the best, if not the best F1 peddler that we've ever seen, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, and of course the YouTubes. I've gone hard in the paint, tried to put my foot on their rhetorical windpipes, and for that I think I've lacked some sensitivity. I've gotten techier than techie things, and I think I need to at this point bring myself to the truth pulpit and say from the bottom of my heart, I want to apologise to absolutely no one. How very dare these Max Verstappen naysayers talk all of this rubbish, abbots of unreason. Now they've got nothing to say. Do you see them running for the hills? They are zero less than that. Maximilian Verstappen is one of the best drivers that you have ever seen. Don't believe me? Well, Helmut Marko came out and said that 0.2 of that 0.3 delta between him and Lando Norris is ultimately Max Verstappen's doing. Don't believe me? Well, where was Yuki Tsunoda? I've got the top 10 in front of me and Tsunoda-san is nowhere to be seen. Judge how quick a car is, said Matt Bishop, one-time Chief Communications Officer of Aston Martin, formerly of the parish of McLaren back in 2008. What you don't do is judge how quick a car is, the RB21 included, by how Maximilian Verstappen is doing in it. Judge how quick the RB21 is by how Yuki Tsunoda is doing, the second driver, and he didn't even make it into Q3 for the avoidance of doubt. Yeah, the car is quicker, but quickest, I would argue, every single day of the week in an ordinary human being's hand, in an ordinary F1 peddler's hand, that the MCL39 is quicker than the RB21. Let me put forth Exhibit A, B and C for you. I was doing some analysis just now, as I like to do with my accounting cap on sometimes, trying to punch some numbers together, and the best hypothetical lap time of Maximilian Verstappen would have been a 132.5 132.51 is the time that he did. He left 2 100ths on the table. He was only 2 100ths, therefore slower than his best hypothetical lap time. Take his purple sectors across the piece. 2 100ths is how much he left on the table. Lando Norris, his best time, of course, was a 132.801 as versus his best hypothetical time. Lando Norris, again, remember, Max Verstappen, for the avoidance of doubt, left 2 100ths on the table. Lando Norris left 0.4 tenths, and therein lies the difference. We were talking about this yesterday as far as Max's narrow band. The difference between when Max is at his best and when he's at his worst looks something like this. All of the other 19 on the grid, at their best they're here, at their worst they are here. The difference therefore is material, and that's where Max Verstappen's performance lies. That's in his gift. Where does that come on? We can have the conversation between that. This is F1 barbershop talk, isn't it? This is Max Verstappen's practice makes perfect. This is the fact that Max is always on the sim. So Q3, he doesn't even feel the pressure. It's just another day, another Sunday afternoon out and about. Whereas for Lando and Oscar and George and Charles Leclerc, it becomes a thing. The weight of the moment is burdensome, prohibitively so for the likes of Lando. Now, Lando was good today. He was brilliant off the line for once in his life. But yet again, that 0.4 hypothetical lap time deficit tells you everything you need to know. Now, the broader context is important here. 55 points is the difference between Max and OJP as far as the championship's concerned. Now that Max Verstappen has himself a car, he has the opportunity to prove his point manifest, that had he had a papaya coloured car all along, that papaya colour rules wouldn't matter. He would have been gone down the road. They wouldn't be close to him if he'd had a car all this time. How do you know? Well, the 0.3 deficit between Lando and Max and their quickest laps over the course of qualifying tells you all you need to know. If Horner left on January the 1st, the WDC would be wrapped up. Oh, the humanity, BC. Potentially. Is Techie going into tomorrow? The reason why is because Oscar Piastri is the driver championship lead to the tune of 55 points. He qualified in 6th. Now, the context is important. I understand that Oscar Piastri's favourite track is not Kota, but yet and still, you guys have heard the stats already. The first 9 races, Oscar Piastri was going gangbusters. Nobody couldn't beat that fella. The last 9 races, he's been nowhere. Five poles, 4 race victories the first 9. There have been 2 poles and 1 race victory in the last 9. Where is this dude? What have they done with number 81? Who is that driver in that car? And what has he done with Oscar Piastri? He's not good. Mr. Mental Fortitude, consistency, forensic car placement. He was worthy of all the praise in the first 9 races. In the succeeding 9 races, OJP has gone. Where is that dude? I barely recognise him. Mistakes like the one he made in the sprint. What? Why is he doing the switchback? As if this is lap 59, not lap 1, when you've got all and sundry, the other 18 behind you breathing down your gearbox. Surely, Oscar Piastri, you've got to know better than that. This is chaos. 6 races and 2 sprints. Believe me when I say Max will be 4, soon to be 5-time champion. Listen, who's going to bet against Max Verstappen when he's in this form? 3/10 down the field on a 92-second track. This is getting chaos. It's getting techier than techie things. Who would bet against Max Verstappen winning 25 points? I don't think that's the story tomorrow, whether or not Max Verstappen can win. The story is rooted in Oscar Piastri and the extent to which he can limit the damage. This is a damage control session as far as McLaren are concerned, and they haven't done a great job, right? There is something that still sits wrong with me, is not set fair when we're talking about papaya rules. Papaya rules. What are you on about, Zach Brown? You've got yourself a Constructors' Championship in the bag. Surely now, with a view to optimise for your chances of winning a Driver Championship, you get behind 100,000% behind Oscar Piastri, but they will not do that, of course. They won't, because the commercial value is all in Lando Norris, Mr. Ralph Lauren adverts, Mr. Hilton, Mr. OKX. He advertised all of these things by himself. You saw him waving golf clubs. He's where McLaren's commercial value lies, and I think that's important, especially if you think Max Verstappen is a fire-breathing dragon and has so much as a chance, even a sliver, of winning himself a driver. Surely, Zach Brown, if you're as pragmatic as you put forth, surely you will understand, with 6 races to go, with a dwindling lead that Oscar Piastri have, yet and still at the time of writing 55 points, but it's doing one of these. Surely, Zach Brown, you will understand that there is a line of least resistance here. And as much as it pains me to say, that looks like team orders. Get therefore behind Oscar Piastri. His form has gone down. Like he's what's going on? 6th behind Lewis and George and Charles Leclerc, as well as his teammate Lando and Max Verstappen. Something is happening here to Oscar Piastri, and it doesn't bode well for his chances of defending a 55-point lead over the next 6 races. To who? Well, to a fire-breathing dragon, in Maximilian Verstappen. For some say, soon to be 5-time champion. Race in less than 24 hours. The championship is back on. Maximilian is back under the aegis of an RB21, now capable of winning races and therefore championships. Oh, the humanity.